YouTubers, what's up? Today I want to show you how to make a seasonal, or at least somewhat seasonal, green smoothie using some things that you can easily find at the grocery store in February. So I live in Oregon, this is what's available to me here, and I'm just going to assume that those of you in North America and in Europe watching could find the same ingredients. So in today's smoothie we are going to use pomegranates, which are in season. I also found a sweet lemon. All citrus in the wintertime is readily available, so this is a sweet lemon. And I have a tangelo, so those are going to be some of the fruits in the smoothie. We also have a pear and an apple. We might not be able to cram all of this in, but we'll see what we could do. Sometimes you go to the store and you luck out because you get beets and they have beet greens attached to them. A lot of people just twist the beet greens off and chuck them, and they're missing out on a lot of nutrition because these things are awesome in green smoothies. They're loaded with vitamins and minerals. So if you didn't know this before, know now that you can use beet greens in smoothies, and you should use beet greens in smoothies. Here's my trusty Vitamix. I love this thing. I've found that it's best for any blender to throw the greens in first, because that way they blend up the best. So I'm gonna pretty much use a complete bunch of beet greens. And the stems are perfectly fine to use because they're very nutritious. Stems are essentially the veins of plants, so they carry vital nutrients from the roots to the leaves. Another thing I like to do is I like to balm my green smoothies with various herbs. In previous videos you may have seen me basil balm a smoothie. Today I'm going to parsley balm it. So essentially what that means is I just take a good amount of parsley greens and just shove them right in. So as you can see, I'm using a lot of greens. This is like 3/4 of a pound of greens. In fact, why not do the entire bunch of parsley? Next, let's add some juicy fruit. As I already mentioned, this right here is a sweet lemon. So look at this. And that's what it looks like. Totally sweet. Yum. Let's throw that guy in. If you find some seeds, pop them out. They're a little bit bitter. A little trick to getting the seeds out is if you hold them up to the light, you can see them better. So then you can just kind of boop, get them out of there. Here's a tangelo, also a very tasty citrus, very juicy as you can see. Wow, this thing is delicious. I can already tell. Next we have a very ripe pear. And you know it's very ripe because it's very soft. When I put apples and pears in smoothies, I always leave the seeds in there because they have trace amounts of arsenic. And in very small quantities, that's actually very beneficial for exploding cancer cells. If you were to eat a bucket of seeds, it might not be so good for your system. But in small amounts, like a few seeds at a time, it's actually really good for you. And I'm going to do the same thing with apples. So I leave the seeds in. Boom. You kind of have to squish it down sometimes. A banana will make any green smoothie creamy. So let's add a banana. As you can see, this one's very ripe. And our last fruit that we're going to use is a pomegranate. The easiest way to put a pomegranate in a smoothie is to juice it in a citrus juicer. So come over here, check it out. So I could peel it and then spend a few minutes individually peeling away the kernels, or I could simply cut it in half, just like that. And I could put it in the citrus juicer and just give it a good squeeze. And as you can see, it pretty much gets all the juice out of the kernels. There you go. So, plop that guy in. Add a quart of water, or a liter if you're watching in Europe. Just to recap, we have our beet greens, we have our parsley balm, we have our sweet lemon, our tangelo, our pear and our apple, our banana, pomegranate juice, and we're ready to rock. Here we go. Okay, so check it out. Sometimes when you're a little zealous, you overload it with ingredients, and then if you take the lid off, the smoothie is just gonna go bloop. So when that happens, you just take your little cup and you pour it over the top of the lid. And then no muss, no fuss. That way, you have your smoothie, half a quart, a pint, and then you can safely lift your lid, and that will make 2.5 more quarts. And that is how you use seasonal ingredients in your smoothie. So remember to switch up the ingredients in your green smoothie. Cheers to you. Thank you for watching. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, you'll get a lot more content just like this. That's a good smoothie.